What do you do when you're feeling itchy? You scratch. What do you do when you're feeling thirsty? You quench it. So what does one do when they're horny? They masturbate. And of course, it's with the intention of reaching orgasm. Because let's face it, masturbation without reaching orgasm is like a roller coaster with no drop. But what happens when you reach the oh so satisfying orgasm without porn? Well, yes, it is possible. And no, this isn't the Twilight Zone. It just means that you can visualize what satisfies you without needing intense and over-the-top content. And this is a healthy change. So let's explore what happens when you orgasm without porn. As a quick reminder, Psych2Go's purpose is to educate and enlighten our audience on everything related to mental health in a lighthearted way, as almost everything that happens in our lives can impact our mental well-being. However, keep in mind that this content is not meant as a diagnosis, but rather to educate and raise discussions in the comment section so those who need the content will benefit. We're here to generate a thoughtful and valuable conversation about a topic that's often regarded as taboo. Without further ado, let's begin. Mental stimulation versus visual stimulation. You might be thinking, what would I rely on other than porn when I masturbate? The answer to that is easy. It's called imagination. Yeah, this may seem like a foreign concept with the advent of AI and the endless sources of content on the internet, but there's nothing more powerful than our mind. Masturbating without porn is vastly different from relying on porn because now you're relying on your creativity while also fostering a deeper connection to your body and engaging all of the senses instead of just having your eyes glued to a screen. Not only that, it's freeing to be unchained from the shackles of porn doom scrolling, as well as the shackles of expensive monthly porn subscriptions. Relying less on porn and saving money? Yes, please. It's a win-win. Desensitization. Did you know masturbating without porn can help reverse desensitization? Desensitization in this context refers to a decreased emotional or physical response to sexual stimuli over time, which can have several different underlying causes. And watching porn excessively can be one of them. Repeated exposure to pornographic content, especially to increasingly extreme or novel content, can lead to diminished arousal to normal sexual stimuli, erectile dysfunction, and decreased satisfaction with real-life intimacy. So what does masturbating and reaching orgasm without porn do for a person who's watching porn a little too much or even struggling with a full-blown addiction? Well, it can offer the brain and body a chance to recalibrate, which can also be defined as resensitization or dopamine resetting. For those wondering how this is related to dopamine, let us explain real quick. Masturbation triggers the release of dopamine, a key neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and reward within the brain's reward system. Overindulgence in any pleasurable activity can overstimulate the brain's reward system, potentially desensitizing it to other sources of pleasure, even eating one's favorite food or listening to music. With this in mind, reaching orgasm without porn can lead to a mental cleansing of sorts because you're essentially resetting your mind's response to sexual stimuli, as well as allowing yourself to become aroused from what comes from your mind naturally instead of artificially from a computer screen. Addiction risk. Overstimulating your brain with porn may feel amazing as it's happening, but it can come at a cost. Both masturbation and watching porn can be dangerous if done excessively. But porn in particular is what accelerates addiction to masturbation in the first place. Why is this? Overindulgence in watching porn can overstimulate the brain's reward system, potentially desensitizing it to other sources of sexual pleasure. Like, for example, engaging in sexual activity with another person. Masturbating without porn lowers the risk of compulsive behavior because you're less likely to chase novelty or become reliant on specific types of visual stimuli, which can either be too intense or create an unrealistic perception around sex. Revitalizing relationships. The dreadful doom scroll through Pornhub is probably familiar to many of us, unless you're an OnlyFans type of person. It's no wonder our sexual and romantic relationships may have a little trouble competing with TikTok influencers gone wild. As the influential podcast host and neuroscientist Andrew Huberman puts it, There is good data to support the idea that if your brain learns to be aroused by watching other people have sex, it's not necessarily going to carry over to the ability to get aroused when you're one-on-one with somebody else. With that in mind, it's clear to see how masturbating without porn can revitalize our relationships physically and mentally. Excessive porn can negatively impact a person's ability to process sexual stimuli to the point where everything feels dull due to desensitization. A distorted view of sexual intimacy due to porn use can potentially be reversed by skipping the porn and letting your mind do the magic. So what do you guys think? Have you tried masturbating without porn? And if so, did it make a difference? How do you feel about the insights shared in this video? Please sound off in the comments. As always, please take care of yourselves and have the wonderful day you deserve.